Wonder Twins issue 12 heads to Zan and Jaina's apartment, where Philo and Polly are staying in light of their home being sold off. Jaina promises to find them more suitable conditions soon, since they are responsible for their home being destroyed. Polly asks if there's anywhere the Justice League can't find them, and Zan wishes that there was some way that they could stay, since being a refugee isn't easy. Zan and Jaina head out for school, where Jaina reads the morning announcements, revealing that due to budget cuts, the library will be closed on Thursdays, and the Cynical Club is still meeting as usual. Soon she congratulates Teacher of the Year Michael Peterson, which comes with a trophy, cash award, and a car decal for when he's driving for Uber. After another boring school day, the twins head to the Hall of Justice, where while on the way, Jaina can't get over how being on Earth is so hard. Inside the hall, the twins find the League waiting for them, wanting a word. Superman sits them down, saying that according to reports, the twins have assisted fugitives and stole a spacecraft, which Zan is quick to point out that they stole that from Lex Luthor. Superman knows that they are partially responsible for the Colonel 86 getting loose as well, and Zan reminds him that they saved the world from the Colonel, and Superman knows everything worked out, but results don't justify their actions, and the League has a process and rules. Frustrated, Jaina says that they know that, but before the League had the expensive buildings, monogrammed stationery and everything, there was a time when they did something because it was the right thing to do. Wonder Woman says that leaning on each other's strengths is the price they pay for not going it alone, but Jaina isn't happy, telling the League to sit there in their knitting circle and argue about the rules. Green Lantern knows that the young heroes are really just bored, but Jaina refuses to admit that this is a cry for help, while her brother hopes that there is some form of promotion in the works for them. Jaina says that she helped a friend in need whose father was wrongly imprisoned in the Phantom Zone, and while they broke the rules, that they saved the world in the process. Superman says that it's not their job to do that, and Jaina knows, telling the Justice League as she leaves that it's their job. Lex meanwhile meets with cell phone Sylvia, who is upset her device is gone. Luckily, Lex knows that it was the Wonder Twins who took the phone, and he wants Sylvia to take revenge on them. The woman says that she doesn't have any of her powers, however, but Lex tells her not to worry since she will have some help. Lex reveals that he's getting Ringmaster, the supposedly circus-themed villain, and the Supervisor, a woman with excellent management skills, to aid Sylvia in her revenge. But Sylvia thinks that this sounds a lot like a new League of Annoyance. Lex doesn't care, telling her to get the phone back, and then they can talk about her media career, since that's what made her special, and why should he even care about her if she doesn't have the thing that made her special? The Wonder Twins meanwhile walk home, thinking coming to Earth was a mistake when they are confronted by Sylvia and the League of Annoyance. Ringmaster traps the kids in his rings, saying that while his ring creation power is minor, it does come in handy. The kids are moved towards a bridge, where Sylvia demands to know where they took the phone, otherwise Zan is going for a swim, and then he will find something equally ironic to kill Jaina with. As the League argue about ironic murders, Gleek emerges from Zan's backpack. As Ringmaster defends the need for ironic murders as art forms, Gleek remembers him as the abusive circus master, causing the monkey to fly into a rage and attack the villain. Sylvia tases the monkey, knocking Gleek out, but thanks to the distraction, Supervisor frees the twins, revealing that she is actually the Scrambler, who swapped minds with the Supervisor back at Lexicon. The twins activate their powers, turning into a puddle of water and a pug, since it was the first animal Jaina thought of. The Scrambler is revealed to the League, but before Sylvia can tase the controlled Supervisor, Zan covers her in water, causing her to shock herself. Scrambler transfers himself from Supervisor into Ringmaster, swapping out the bodies and sending the villain into Supervisor's body. The body-changed Ringmaster pulls the gun that Supervisor had, pointing it at the heroes, but Zan tells her that if they don't want to be trapped in the Phantom Zone for their lives, they should put the gun down. Jaina in pug form, however, reveals that she has the Phantom Zone phone, activating it and trapping Sylvia and the body-transferred Ringmaster, pulling them into the Phantom Zone. Later, over a coffee, the twins learn that the Scrambler escaped prison thanks to the crappy air freshener he is forced to sell for Lexicon. He says he grabbed one of the fresheners and hit a guard, plugging it into a socket and using the power outage to depower his power dampener and quickly switch bodies with Supervisor, which is when he got the call from Lex about helping Sylvia, so playing along with it, he went and aided the Wonder Twins. Jaina tells him that the server Scrambler used to try and take over the world was destroyed, and Polly isn't going to be helping him again, but Scrambler is happy with that since he's learned that the only changes of mind that stick are the ones they choose for themselves. He tells the twins to be careful which boxes they let people put them in, since once inside, they may never get out again and become stuck. He tells them good luck before leaving, making them wonder what they will do next. The twins head to the Hall of Justice, looking to take their firing from the League gracefully, but they find the Justice League waiting for them, learning that they know that the twins have been looking after the maths. Jaina pleads with Superman not to send the maths to jail since they saved the world, and Superman knows, since recent events have shown that threats cannot be solved with strength, and problems against which their powers are useless. Clark knows that power comes with blind spots, and they can't protect the world if they don't listen to those who can solve the problems they don't understand. Activating supercomputer, he unveils the Asterisk, the assessing strategic threats requiring innovative skills and knowledge. Not only that, he wants the twins and Philo and Polly to run the center. Superman tells him that the fate of the world hangs on a single choice, and whether they put as many minds as possible to solving its problems or creating them. He knows the planet has a history of doubling down on its mistakes, but the more people despair of the human race, the more actual people mean to you. Hugging Jaina, Superman hopes that she can forgive them for losing sight on everything. 1 year later, at the newly finished Asterisk HQ, the Wonder Twins arrive to find Philo and Polly working away in their respective labs, solving the world's problems. Heading to their office, Jaina asks her brother if he ever resents not being able to use his powers without her, but Zahn says that it doesn't in any way, since it means that he never has to be alone, and like it or not, Jaina is stuck with him. Wonder Twins issue 12 ended one of my favorite DC books in a long while, as well as the second series I've loved from Brian Bendis' Wonder Comics imprint. I thoroughly enjoyed every issue and loved this issue was dedicated to further tying up the hilarious cell phone Sylvia and Scrambler storylines and setting up a possible sequel series and giving the twins some extra duties. Jaina calling the League out for not dealing with these problems, and then Superman having to quote-unquote learn about not every threat can be dealt with strength was great, and the way it was played as both a moment for Mark Russell to write a great Superman speech again and play a joke was fantastic. I hope we get more of the twins in the future, and hopefully more stuff like this from Mark Russell. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10.